issues. I hope this works. Anyway, Stormy Daniels, she finally is breaking her silence. Yes, Stormy Daniels, she's back out there. She says that Melania Trump, believe it or not, should leave Donald Trump. Can you believe this, guys? Like, an adult film star by the name of Stormy Daniels has literally just broken her media silence with this scathing message for Melania Trump. I have no words for this. Like, who does Stormy Daniels think she is coming after Melania Trump? Is she trying to steal her husband from her? I mean, like, anyway, so she was speaking very, very candidly in an explosive interview with The Mirror, and Stormy Daniels evidently did not hold back. She said, quote, "I don't know what their agreement may or may not be, but Melania Trump needs to leave him. Not because of what he did with me or other women, but because he is a convicted felon." Now, Stormy Daniels, she went on to say that it's been proven that he is abusive. He was found liable for sexual assault and tax fraud and is now a criminal. Now, what do y'all think about that? Do you think Stormy Daniels even has a place to say anything to Melania Trump about her husband, Donald Trump? I mean, seriously, guys. By the way, if you haven't already, please do your boy a favor, hit the like button for the video. Totally appreciate y'all. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you so much for the support. You guys are amazing. I see the Awakened in here already in the live. We got Cassandra Symington in the chat. We got Flip and the Blue Mule, Doc Holiday, Lisa B. Awesome. I appreciate you guys. All right. Yeah, it's heating up, guys. Stormy Daniels says he's neither Teflon Don nor Teflon Con anymore. Buckle up, guys. We got a lot to talk about today. Think back. Let's go back a little bit. November 2022, Kellyanne Conway. She's a former aide for Donald Trump. She testified before the House panel investigating the Capitol riot, right? Now, during her testimony, Kellyanne Conway made a very notable statement about Melania Trump, the former first lady, I should say. She said that, quote, "He listens to many of us, but he reserves fear for one person, Melania Trump." So this statement suggests that essentially, out of all of the people in Donald Trump's circle, Melania Trump is the only person that he truly fears. What do you guys think about that? You think that's a pretty true statement, that Donald Trump respects his wife so much that Melania Trump is the only person that Donald Trump actually fears? So recently, Donald Trump, he discussed the impact of his Manhattan trial on Melania Trump during a pre-taped interview with Fox News and Friends. So Donald Trump, he expressed his concerns about how the trial has affected his wife, saying she's fine, but I think it's very hard on her. I mean, she's fine, but she has to read all this crap, end quote. So that was Donald Trump's statement on how he felt that Melania Trump was taking all this. But in these comments, Donald Trump also acknowledges that while Melania Trump is managing the trial's media coverage and the negative attention, it may have been a little bit challenging for her. Now, Hunter Biden, his legal situation regarding a firearm purchase is definitely heating up right now. Hunter Biden's basically filled out a form to buy a gun, and he lied about it. He made a false statement, which is illegal. And so specifically, he lied about not using controlled substances, which is a very serious offense when it comes to buying a firearm. This is put in place to keep the public safe, right? Well, Hunter Biden broke that law. Hunter Biden's only defense is this legal loophole provided by the Department of Justice prosecutors. Now, I want to understand this. We have to go back just a little bit to October 12th, 2018, when Hunter Biden first got the gun, right? He only had it for like 11 days before it was lost, which brought law enforcement into the picture. So the gun was apparently discarded by Haley Biden, which is Hunter Biden's sister-in-law, because she was worried that Hunter, who was struggling with drug addiction, might hurt himself or others. But get this, guys, the evidence against Hunter Biden is very strong, way stronger than what they try to bring against Donald Trump in that hush money trial case, right? So over time, it has become even stronger because Hunter Biden himself has made a lot of statements acknowledging his condition, during that period. Now, Hunter Biden, he can't even like reasonably argue that he wasn't a drug addict at the time. Everybody knows his drug situation, right? However, check this out. Hunter Biden has a potential defense due to delays in the case. This was all planned from the very beginning, guys. This is planned from the beginning. David Weiss, he's the U.S. attorney who is handling this particular case. He took almost 5 years to bring charges against Hunter Biden. 5 years, guys. Now, I want you to pay very, very close, because this time delay is literally letting Hunter Biden, this created an out. They have fabricated such a loophole for Hunter Biden. You're going to get mad at me. So don't get mad at me. Get mad at the system, because it's not my fault. I'm just letting you guys know what's really going down, because they're not going to talk about it on the news, right? So get this, guys. During this delay, we'll call it a delay, right? The Supreme Court made a ruling in 2022 that questioned several federal firearms restrictions. This particular ruling from the Supreme Court brought into question the constitutionality of banning drug users and drug addicts from possessing firearms under the Second Amendment, guys. Now, because of the Supreme Court ruling, Hunter Biden now has a defense that he would not have had if he had been prosecuted in a timely manner back in 2018 and 2019. If he had pled guilty back then, the legal argument wouldn't have been available. And a lot of you guys are like, why aren't they going to prosecute this guy? Why aren't they charging this guy? They were waiting to change the law so that when he now is in front of the court system, he can get off, because now the law has changed. You see how they work the system, guys? Are you guys seeing this? Like, you should be like, you're probably pissed off just hearing this, right? So in essence, the essence is that the delay in the prosecution combined with the Supreme Court's ruling, it basically gives Hunter Biden a legal argument to challenge the charges against him. It's basically the DOJ let him off the hook by having the Supreme Court change the law before prosecuting him. This is so dirty. And it gets even dirtier. The jury selection for Hunter Biden's trial is currently underway. So far, no jurors have been officially seated, but there are 4 more potential jurors that are left in the pool who still need to go through this selection process. Judge Noriega, he mentioned that it is possible for a full jury to be seated today. Now, in the pool of potential jurors, there is a woman who said that she has strong feelings about this particular case. She also followed the separate tax evasion case against Hunter Biden, President Joe Biden's son. Now, she is aware of the attempted bargain that failed between the prosecution and Hunter Biden, and she understands that this is the reason for the current trial. Now, despite her knowledge, she states that she could still be fair and still be impartial. This woman also expressed her opinions on guns, saying that she believes that there should be background checks and limits on access to assault rifles. What do y'all think about that? Should there be limits on access to assault rifles and background checks on guns? Should we be able to arm ourselves? What are you guys' thoughts on Second Amendment? Or should we let the government just take our guns away? Judge Noriega decided to keep her in the pool despite her objections from Hunter Biden's defense team, who also questioned her impartiality. Now, another potential juror in the pool, you guys are going to find this guy rather interesting, right? Another potential juror in the pool is a former Delaware police officer. So this guy, he's a police officer, and he says, get this, guys, he says he believes that the FBI prosecutes cases based on politics, and specifically mentioned the Steele Dozier and the trial against former President Donald Trump in New York. Okay? Now, he says, now, before I go any further, do y'all think that the FBI processes cases based on political reasons? I mean, look at Donald Trump. What do y'all think? He also noted that he was once supported by a candidate who challenged Beau Biden, Hunter Biden's late brother, in the race for attorney general. So it's going to be real interesting to see if this potential juror makes it in the pool. Like, do y'all think that this juror is really going to remain, or is he going to be discarded? Okay, because here you have a potential juror that clearly sees that Donald Trump was politically prosecuted. So if you have this juror on the panel, this could be very, very bad for Hunter Biden. But do you think they're going to keep this guy? Let me know. What's going on, Chicago Joe? I see you, man. Um, so there's also a potential juror, and Catalia in the comments. Appreciate you. I see you. Thank you so much for helping me out in the comments, Catalia. Catalia is our moderator, and she's so helpful to us. I really appreciate her help. But there's also this potential juror, and this juror testified that they own, count them, 4 firearms and have concealed carry permits in 3 different states. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But Judge Noriega noticed that almost every potential juror mentioned that they had heard about the case in the news. So, in other words, every juror that's being considered already knows about this Hunter Biden case. And so, this is kind of already, you have a tainted jury right out the gate. No one's not going to know about Hunter Biden in some way, right? The story is just too big. But anyway, so that's the latest on the Hunter Biden jury selection, which is currently underway. I think they're going to be wrapping up here shortly, and we may even have the full jury as early as this afternoon so that they can actually start the trial against Hunter Biden. So former President Donald Trump has turned his recent conviction into a major fundraising opportunity. In fact, highlighting a record-breaking influx of donations, guys. Donald Trump's breaking records. Can you believe this? I can believe it because he's just the type of guy to do that. But after being found guilty on all 34 felony counts in his criminal trial in New York City, Donald Trump's campaign announced a record-shattering fundraising achievement, guys. Freedom, thank you so much for the support this afternoon. Thanks so much for the $5 super chat. Freedom says the FBI, the CIA, court, and judges are all totally corrupt. Mr. Yates, you're a great patriot. Trump's gonna whoop Biden's rear in November. I appreciate you, man. Couldn't agree with you more. But yeah, so Friday morning, 3 days ago, Donald Trump's campaign revealed that they had raised $34.8 million from 6 p.m. Eastern time until midnight on Thursday. Let's just call it $35 million, right? Immediately following the guilty verdict in New York. Later on Friday evening, as a matter of fact, the Donald Trump campaign updated the figure, announcing that nearly $53 million was raised within the 24 hours following the verdict through their online digital fundraising platform. Now, get this, guys. The campaign emphasized that the fundraising total was nearly double the biggest day ever recorded for the Trump campaign on the Win Red platform. This is unbelievably massive, right? They also noted that the guilty verdicts have awakened the MAGA movement like never before. Quick shout out and thank you to Lisa Bell for the big, huge $10 super chat. Lisa Bell says, you are 100% a professional journalist. I value your clear and straightforward delivery of the news. Lisa, thank you so much. I'm glad you appreciate it. I really, really do. So, and I really do appreciate all of you guys' support. Thank you so much for hitting the like button. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Janice Veloto, how do I do super chat? You know, I don't even know how to do super chat. I would tell you how to do it, but I don't know how to do it myself. So if anybody is familiar with how to do super chat, if you can just kind of like put it in the chat, like how to do it, because I don't even know how to do it. Like, I appreciate you guys doing it, but I couldn't even tell you how to do it. So I don't know. Sorry about that. I wish I could help you. Anyway, the surge in contributions is part of Donald Trump's strategy to close the fundraising gap with President Joe Biden as they prepare for a potential 2024 election rematch. So it's about to get big, folks. Senior advisors to the Trump campaign, you got LaCivita and Susie Wiles, highlighted the overwhelming support, guys. Not just a little bit of backing, overwhelming support for their digital fundraising system, receiving immediately after the trial verdict was announced. They also said in a statement Friday morning, quote, from just minutes after the sham trial verdict was announced, Our digital fundraising system was overwhelmed with support, end quote. Now, this is basically just before they crashed the WinRed website, just trying to send Donald Trump all the financial support that they could because of this. This was like the immediate reaction after everyone was stunned by the guilty verdict. I was personally stunned. 34 counts of guilty. How are you not stunned? Were any of you guys stunned or shocked that they found Donald Trump guilty? Like, I know it's a state where 90% of the folks voted for President Biden, and 90% of the folks basically voted against Donald Trump in the 2020 election. But for some reason, there wasn't any evidence to actually support a guilty verdict. And I, for some reason, really felt that as biased and as corrupt as the system is, there's no way they're going to find him guilty. There's going to be one juror at least that's going to be like, nah, there's not enough to convict. So when they actually convicted him of 34 counts, felony counts, I was personally shocked, to be honest with you. Anyway, Aaron Worley, thanks so much for the $5 super chat. Totally appreciate your support. God bless you guys. So Chris LaCivita and Susie Wiles also pointed out that not only was the amount historic, but get this, 29.7% of Thursday's donors were brand new donors to the WinRed platform. Now, looking ahead to the upcoming election, LaCivita and Wiles reiterated that President Trump is fighting to save our nation, and November 5th is the day Americans will deliver the real verdict. What do y'all think? Y'all think November 5th we're going to deliver the real verdict for Donald Trump? Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. This is not the time to sit by idly and let our country be stolen away from us. All right. Freedom, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. So Freedom says, I'm on super chat line. Type in, I hate nursing Joe and Trump is not guilty. That's it, and pay, everybody. Thank you so much for your support, Freedom. Totally appreciate you, man. So earlier today, Monday, I don't even know what today's date is. What is today's date? Anyway, earlier today, Dr. Anthony Fauci testified about the origins of COVID-19. Now, before I even go any further into this, Dr. Fauci, he's testifying. He's in court, right? Does anybody, Catalia called me out for rocking the MAGA red hat. But seriously, does anybody even trust Dr. Anthony Fauci anymore? Like, is he a trusted household name after everything that we've been through? Y'all, please let me know what you think. So earlier today, Dr. Anthony Fauci testified about the origins of COVID-19, expressing his support for suspending U.S. grant funding to EcoHealth Alliance. All right. So EcoHealth Alliance, a virus research organization based in New York, has been at the center of controversy regarding the origins of the virus that causes COVID-19. Now, if we go back to May, right? So in May, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the HHS, they suspended funding to EcoHealth Alliance, and they proposed blocking the organization from receiving any kind of federal funds in the future, potentially for several years. How many of you guys think that maybe they should never be able to ever get future funds from the federal government, which ultimately come from us as taxpayers? But I'm going to leave that decision to you guys. So when Dr. Anthony Fauci was asked earlier today if he supported the suspension and the debarment of EcoHealth Alliance, he responded yes. But keep in mind that before the pandemic, the U.S. had provided a $120,000 grant to EcoHealth Alliance, which included a subaward of fund research at Wuhan Institute of Virology. However, in April 2020, no one's going to forget April 2020, right? The National Institutes of Health, also known as the NIH, terminated this grant. Now, Dr. Anthony Fauci explained that he later learned the White House had instructed the NIH to cancel the grant. Now, when asked on Monday, earlier today, if he agreed or disagreed with the decision at the time, Dr. Anthony Fauci clarified his position by saying, hey, quote, it wasn't a question of agreeing or disagreeing. It was like, can we really do that? I don't think you can do that. And as it turned out, I was right, because the general counsel of HHS said, quote, by the way, you can do that. You got to restore the grant, end quote. Now, the grant was essentially reinstated, but was soon suspended again, pending a compliance review. Dr. Anthony Fauci then noted that once he learned that there were compliance issues with the grant, the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, aka the NIAID, which he was leading at the time, was instructed to stay out of it. Ever since then, the NIH found numerous violations of grant policies by EcoHealth Alliance. As a result, the NIH has blocked funding to the Wuhan Institute of Virology and ultimately suspended, as well as blocking proposed NIH funding to EcoHealth Alliance as an institution and to its president, Dr. Peter Daszak, individually. So I'm going to keep up on this case with Dr. Anthony Fauci testifying, just because this guy, his words, his advice has altered our lives in a way we will never forget. Real quick shout out and massive thank you to Sarah Marie for the huge $20 super chat this afternoon. Happy Monday to you. God bless you. Sarah Marie says, we the people in November, God bless, God has Trump's back. God bless you, Ron. I totally appreciate you. Thank you so much, Sarah Marie, for dropping the huge $20 super chat on me this afternoon. And I don't always bring good news. I know I don't, but I do aim to deliver the truth. So I'm just happy that you guys do appreciate what I'm doing here. But anyway, thank you so much for all of you guys. Thank you so much for hitting the like button. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, for sharing these videos, for the super chats, for you guys hitting the join button and becoming members of the channel. Like, you guys are absolutely the best. So Donald Trump, his lawyer says that President Trump is actually going to be cooperating with the pre-sentencing investigation, and they're going to be speedily appealing his unjust verdict in New York against Judge Juan Merchan, DA Alvin Bragg, Stormy Daniels, that particular case, right? He thinks that this is a case that is full of replete with reversible error, and we will defend his rights all the way up to the Supreme Court if necessary. So it looks like they're going to be appealing this. In addition to that, they are absolutely 100% prepared to run this sucker all the way up to the Supreme Court to get justice for Donald Trump. So hopefully they don't have to go that far, because that's a huge time suck and he'd have to wait even longer. Hopefully, just taking it up to the appellate courts would be enough. But I'm going to keep you guys posted on that, because we got to stay up on this thing here. The appeal process begins 30 days after sentencing, opening on July 11th. There is doubt about whether the appeal will happen before the election, though. But of course, I'm going to keep y'all posted on that. But then, of course, this is something that's a little bit concerning. There's Allen Weisselberg, Donald Trump's former accountant, who was found guilty on 7 felony counts in New York State. Now, Allen Weisselberg's felonies range from more serious grades, we're talking A and C, all the way to less serious felony classes such as D and E. And get this, Allen Weisselberg was sentenced to 5 months in jail for lying. I mean, didn't your boy, oh my God, Michael Cohen lie left and right on the stand? Where's his jail time, right? Do y'all think Michael Cohen should have been sent to jail? Anyway, so Donald Trump, on the other hand, he was found guilty on 34 counts of Class E felonies. Now, a lot of people don't understand this, and a lot of people are talking smack about Donald Trump's felony convictions, and some of these folks that are speaking are just they're idiots. Basically, this was an accounting error. And It's like, okay, if you have an accounting error and they're counting each accounting error as a felony, and let's just say it's on a spreadsheet, right? So like line 1 through 34, they're saying each one of these offenses is another charge, or it's another count. So if there's 34 lines that they think are inappropriately labeled, that is how we come up with the 34 grades. This is, excuse me, the 34 counts. So this is literally an accounting error, and they're trying to make something so small, which was ultimately advised by his previous attorney, which was Michael Cohen. They're trying to blow this whole thing out of proportion. They're trying to assign jail time for freaking putting the wrong categorization on a freaking Excel document at the end of the day, for crying out loud. It's unbelievably stupid. It's unbelievably stupid. Anyway, the point of what I'm saying is that Allen Weisselberg, he's age 76, but Donald Trump is age 77. They still sent Weisselberg to jail for 5 months. The question is, will Judge Merchan put Donald Trump in jail? Now, I'm willing to bet that Judge Juan Merchan's daughter's high-paying Democratic clients are going to be pressuring her to save her dad, or excuse me, to have her dad put Donald Trump in jail. That way they can help Biden win the election. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, some of you guys don't know the history. So Judge Juan Merchan's daughter works for / owns a marketing company that basically has a bunch of high-paying Democratic clients. So the theory is that the high-paying Democratic clients are pressuring Judge Juan Merchan's daughter to have her dad put Donald Trump in jail so that they can help Biden win the election. That's the theory. Now, many people are saying that since Merchan is a Soros-backed, hand-picked judge, he better put Donald Trump in jail, or his supporters may fire him for not fully carrying out the task. It's not just good enough to convict Donald Trump on the 34 counts of felonies. We need to also get him put in jail. So that's the theory. I don't know if there's any weight to that. I certainly hope not, but this is what we're hearing. But even as corrupt as the judge is, Donald Trump's cases involves they're BS felonies. These are like fake felonies, right? Like, anyway, you got bootleg movies and you got bootleg felonies. This is a bootleg felony, right? But even as corrupt as the judge is, Donald Trump's cases involves a non-violent felony in New York City, right? Whereas, according to some reports, people are committing serious crimes, including assaults on police officers. You guys have seen the viral videos of migrants attacking police officers. I think there was one video I saw. It was like 5 migrants kicking and stomping on a police officer on the ground in New York. Did y'all see that? So basically, you got situations like that happening in New York, right? Where the NYPD is getting beat down. And these folks have avoided significant jail time. Now, you would think that for a case like this, for former President Donald Trump, who is a former president, I can't reiterate that enough. He's a former president who is the nominee for the Republican Party in an upcoming active election. This could theoretically spark riots in the streets for him if jail time for Donald Trump is issued for a crime like this. So, I'm just saying. On Monday, our jury was dismissed for a fraud trial after reporting a very shocking attempt at bribery. Man, what is going on with our court systems, guys? So I don't know if you guys heard this. This particular juror, a 23-year-old woman, said that a woman had come to her home and dropped off a bag containing $120,000 in cash. Now, put yourself in the shoes of this juror, right? You're at home. Someone rings your doorbell. You think it may be an Amazon package or something like that. And then you open the door. You're like, oh, you don't see anybody. Oh, wait. There's a bag there on the floor. There's $120,000 in cash. What do? Right? So the woman also promised the juror even more money if she would vote to acquit 7 people charged with stealing over $40 million from a pandemic food and aid program intended to feed children. I can't make this stuff up, guys. So, Assistant U.S. Attorney Joseph Thompson expressed his outrage in court, basically saying that this is completely beyond the pale. This is outrageous behavior. This is stuff that happens in mob movies, right? So, these 7 defendants, they're the first of 70 individuals expected to go to trial in connection with a massive fraud conspiracy that cost taxpayers over $250 million, $250 million, guys. So far, 18 others have pleaded guilty. Authorities have managed to recover about $50 million. But this case is one of the largest pandemic related fraud cases in the United States. Prosecutors are alleging that only a small portion of the stolen money was actually used to feed low income families. Instead, the rest of the money was spent on balling out of control, swag, luxury cars, jewelry, flexing on the gram, travel, and property. Get this, guys. A lot of people are like, is it too late to get into GameStop? Is it too late to invest in that company? Well, I'm not an investment advisor, but there's some news that has come out recently about GameStop. In fact, GameStop stock surged significantly after Keith Gill, who's a key investor during the 2021 meme stock rally, he revealed that he has a major position in the gaming video game retailer. Now, there's actually a movie about this. Did you guys see the GameStop movie? If you guys have not seen that movie, you gotta check it out. I don't care if you trade stocks, invest in stocks, or whatever. This was a movie worth watching, right? Even my kid enjoyed it. So Keith Gill, he's widely known on his social media. His username, if you wanted to look him up, is Roaring Kitty. He's on platforms like X, aka Twitter. He's even on YouTube, right? So you can look him up, Roaring Kitty, right? Anyway, so after GameStop's rise, other meme stocks, including AMC Entertainment, they also saw their stock prices jumping, and a lot of people made a lot of money, right? So now they're looking at this thing like, yo, is it going to happen again, right? So get this, guys. Sunday night, Keith Gill, using his Roaring Kitty persona, posted on Reddit for the first time since 2021. In this particular post, he appeared to share a screenshot of an E-Trade account showing a massive $181.4 million position in the GameStop and options. So basically, he's showing that he's got almost $182 million worth of GameStop stocks and options, right? Now, I don't know that much about options, but I understand stocks. Options is a lot more complicated, and I just don't understand it that much. However, it is not confirmed whether it was actually Keith Gill himself who posted this on the account. So basically, this latest post, it was made to the subreddit called Super Stonk, rather than on the Wall Street Bets subreddit, where he originally shared his GameStop updates during the 2021 meme rally. So the screenshot, which is dated June 2nd, reveals that Keith Gill holds 5 million shares of GameStop stock, which is valued at $115 million. Now, the average purchase price for these shares was $21.27 each. Additionally, the screenshot also shows 120,000 call options that expire on June 21st, granting the right to buy GameStop stock at $20 a share. Now, these options are worth $65 million according to the screenshot. So get this, guys. Keith Gill's return on the spotlight is basically attracting all sorts of attention from brokers and regulators, and his influence and previous involvement in the meme stock phenomenon, it made him a significant figure in the market movements of stocks like GameStop and AMC Entertainment. So now a lot of people are like, hey, is this thing going to run up again? Is this really Roaring Kitty posting these screenshots? Is he warning us that a new opportunity may be coming into fruition? So I can't answer any of that just yet. I'm waiting for more information because this is going to be very interesting if it really is him. But a lot of folks are like, hey, I don't mess with stocks. I just mess with gold. I invest in silver. I invest in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Or maybe some people just invest in real estate. Maybe you just stuff money under your bed. I don't know. But I thought this was very interesting. And I definitely wanted to share this with you guys because I thought it was a huge update. Uh, but yeah, if you guys haven't already, do your boy a favor, destroy the like button, support the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, share this video, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Y'all take care.